Hello everyone, my name is Sophia and today I'm here to talk about the Nevernight series and why I love it so much and why other people hate it so much and what you might think about it if you want to read it. So, as I've said before, I love the Nevernight series so much. This is Nevernight by Kristoff. This is a high fantasy adult series talking about this girl called Mia Corvair who gets her entire familia killed, and she wants revenge against the men who did it. So she goes to an assassin school, this whole cult church, which trains assassins to fulfill her goal. And the series starts from there, but it goes to so much more, and it's my favorite series of all time, and I love it so much, and I wanted to talk about why. Also, I'm not gonna hold this the entire time. Also, you might have noticed, if you've heard about this book before at all, that it's really polarizing. Like, people either love it or hate it. And I happen to fall into love, but it's because it's not, I believe this series is objectively good, but it's not for everybody. My opinion is that Nevernight has a really niche audience, like target audience, like it's only a certain kind of person is going to like it with a certain kind of tastes. And since it's so hyped, so mainstream, as far as books like these go, that a lot of people who wouldn't like it in a million years are picking it up and are hating it, and that's why I think it's so polarizing. Because I love Nevernight so much because it's really specific to me. That the love I have, the relationship I have with this series is special to me, and it's personal. It's not, oh my god, this is so well done. No, like, I love it so much because it speaks to me in a level that goes beyond quality and objective writing. I want to talk about some reasons, some objective reasons why you might like or hate Nevernight, or maybe why you love or hate Nevernight. The first reason is the writing style. A lot of people, and I mean a lot, complain about the writing style in this series. True, it is dense, it's flowery, it's its own thing, and a lot of people really can't seem to get into it. They think it's too pretentious, or it's too like weird and trying to be something it's not. And I get it, I really do get it. I wanted to say that the first time I picked Nevernight up, I got about 60 pages in and I put it down. I DNF'd it for about 7 months because I could not deal with the writing. It was too much, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. It was too weird, too new, and it wasn't for me. So I completely understand that criticism. But what I've come to feel about Nevernight and the writing is that it's self-aware. Like, it knows it's kind of too much, and it pokes fun of itself, especially in the third book, Dark Dawn. It pokes fun at itself a lot, but that's why it doesn't bother me a lot, because it is self-aware. And even Kristoff, the writer, calls himself a wanker for it. He has some parts where the text are smushed around, and he says that's when he writes like a wanker, and I agree, but I love it. It's really personal to me that I love it. And the other reason why I love the writing, it's because I think it fits the characters in the world perfectly. It fits them like a glove. This world is really unique. I haven't seen any other world like it, and the way the writing is, the uniqueness of it, I think it really complements the world and makes it feel more real than it would have if the writing was like straightforward. That's my opinion. You can disagree. It's fine. I understand why so many people disagree with me on this. The second thing that a lot of people complain a lot about, it's the footnotes. And they complain mainly because it takes them out of the story. So if you don't know, for example, let me pick an example here. There's gonna be an explanation or something, there's gonna be a text, a normal text, and then there's an asterisk, and down here it's just footnote. This is all a footnote. It's kind of explaining the world a little. It's not necessary to the story. If you want to skip them, you're free to skip them, but they're supposed to be, some of them are supposed to be funny, and a lot of people don't think they're funny and think they're unnecessary. Personally, I disagree. I think they're really funny. Some of them are really fucking funny, and they're really not necessary for you to understand the book and enjoy the book. Like, they're little tidbits into the world and into the past into the history of this world, and sometimes into like the animals and the fauna and flora. They're the icing on top of the cake. The world building you need to know, it's all in the text, but the footnotes are extra information if you want. They're not necessary. And that's why I love them in particular, because they're just so fun to read. I really like them. I think they're a lot of fun. The other thing, and I think that's the most, not valid, but the criticism I agree with the most, is the pacing. A lot of people complain about the pacing because the pacing is off in this first book especially. The first 150 pages are weirdly slow and they take a lot of time to get to the point, and then it's just action. So I completely understand. As I've said before, I DNF'd Nevernight the first time I picked it up at 60 pages because not only was the writing super, like, too much for me, but the pacing also wasn't helping. Nothing was happening, and I put it down. So I completely understand the complaint about the pacing, and that's why I say everybody who's gonna pick up Nevernight, I always tell them to stick through to at least 150 pages to see if you like it. Because with a lot of high fantasy, it's recommended you do that, but I think with Nevernight especially, because it has such a rough start, that if you just stick with it a little bit longer, you might end up enjoying it a lot more if you had stopped in the beginning. I know I did. I cannot imagine if I hadn't picked it up where I left off at 60 pages. I would be a completely different reader and a different person. Now, those three are the main things why I think people hate Nevernight so much, and the rest of this video is just gonna be about why I love it so much, because it is my favorite series and I love talking about it. So, I mean, if you're watching this video, you're just gonna have to put up with it, or you don't want to, whatever. Just, I'm rereading it right now. I'm tabbing it for the first time. This is the first time tabbing it, and I'm just so in love with it all over again. I read it for the first time 2 years ago, almost to the date, and I still love it so much. So some of the reasons why personally I love it a lot are that the world mainly, the world is so brutal, and it's not brutal in a like torture porn way, which I know a lot of people want to stay away from, me included. It's brutal in a way that's like, it's how it is. Like, the world is what it is. It's not like brutal for the sake of being brutal. It's as if the world is a real thing, and it's like it's based on the Roman Empire, if you didn't know that. It's loosely based on the Roman Empire and the brutality of the Roman Empire and how it treated its citizens and how it treated its everybody, pretty much. And the world building also, which comes with the world, is so well done. It's a fully realized world with fully realized consequences to the people living in it, and it's amazing. I can't really explain because I'm not that much of a critical reader. I don't have that much of a bullet point list of this is well done, this is well done, this is well done. I'm just saying the world feels real and it feels alive. That's the way I can say it. The world, with the writing, with the characters, all of it together, has so much personality that, like, the the personality is dripping off the page and you can kind of feel it. And like this book is alive in my mind because it's so grand. It's so beyond just a trilogy. It's its entire own thing. And I'm just gushing now, so the next point. Every side character here has their own story. It's not on page, their own story. You get little tidbits into the world, but you can tell that they're people, that they're fully realized people. They're not like cardboards, you know? Like you can tell J. Kristoff put thought into their actions and their words and why they're saying them, even though we don't necessarily get shown that on screen. And also something I can say now with the seal of approval, now that I've read all 3 books in the trilogy, the beginning, the middle, and the end, that the foreshadowing is masterfully done. It's so well done. It's so, you get just little sprinkles of information, little questions the main character asks herself that now that I know the answers for it, I can't see how I didn't get it. Like it's so well done. It's so, if you really look for it, you can figure it out. You can figure it out, but it's so well hidden that you really have to look for it. And that's why I think like the best foreshadowing is. The next thing I wanted to talk about, in the last actually, is the characters. Man, the characters here, they're just like the world. They're fully realized, they're real, they're people. What can I say about these characters besides they feel real in my head and in my heart, and I love them so much. I love every single one of them, and they're not just like people like you and me. Their entire personality is shaped by their circumstances. Like the reason Mia, the main character, goes to the school, the assassin school, the Red Church, is because of something that happened to her when she was younger. And that something that happened to her is because of certain laws of the world. And it's because certain things the main characters were pushed to do because of the environment around them. So it's really, I know what I'm saying isn't supposed to be this grand, oh my god, that's so well done thing, because that's supposed to be a given. But most of the time, it's hard to find worlds like that and characters like that, especially what I found. And I think that when you put all these things together, the world, the writing, the characters, the personality it all has, when you put it all together, you have this brilliant, amazing book that I really wish more people could love and more people could learn about. And if you hated it, if it just did not work for you, that's completely fine. That's going to happen to a lot of people. As I've said before, this book has a really niche audience. It's really not for everybody. But if you think there's a chance, just a little bit of a chance, that this might be for you, pick it up. Because, man, if it is for you, you're gonna love it. That's almost a given. Just look at, like, statistically. If you don't hate it, you're probably loving it. And I guess that's it. That's not all I have to say about the Nevernight series, but that's all I have the time to say. So yeah, my name is Sophia, and I'll see you next time. Bye!